This is Scapegoat User, and I'm proud to bring you the first episode of the Stonking Great Yugioh podcast. With me today are a few of my friends, and we are going to be talking about everything from what cards exist in the current metagame that aren't used, to the top decks and YCSs and how you can combat them. So today we are going to be going over how has Abyss Rising affected the game, the Cosmo Blazer set overview, what can Konami do with the Elemental Lord cycle considering what has been done with the others, and prophecies, are they the new Lights ones? With me today are a few of my close friends, so we start with Darkness L1989.
Greetings.
She's been out of the game for a long time, but here is Emma Blue Eyes 10.
Hi guys, it's nice to be back.
And finally we have one of my very close friends, you've seen me in a lot of his videos, it's Dark Magician 84.
Play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your souls.
Right, so today I think we're going to get into our first topic, which is the how has Abyss Rising affected the game? Now, going on my own personal opinion, the Mermaid Atlanteans have affected the current meta in a stupid way, purely because they haven't been hit a lot yet. And they're stupidly expensive. Prophecies and Madolches have come on the scene and given us a right arse kicking, with cards like Madolche, Messenger Lato and Crufson being able to just do stupid plays. Now, however, there's a lot of underrated support in this set. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm specifically talking about Nimble Angler, number 31.
There we go.
Oh, I haven't seen much of the nimble monsters, so it's hard for me to say.
That's fair enough.
It's a very interesting... Sorry, Darkness L, you can go first.
No, carry on.
I mean, as Scapegoat User said, I have been out the game for the past 2 or 3 months, mainly due to work, but even though I don't know very much about the mermaids and anything at the moment, even I can tell that seems to be quite a good little effect there. I can definitely see lots of plays for low rank XYZs and stuff, depending on what other nimble monsters are available.
Well, there's Nimble Sunfish, who's basically a walking Foolish Burial and card replacement. And like there's Nimble Mumonga and Nimble Musabi, but I mean that's best used. If you look at number 57, this is a combo many people have talked about, but Lemuria the Forgotten City. If you look at that, then look at Nimble Angler and Frogs in general.
And Frogs, oh dear.
Yeah, because Nimble Angler will not miss the timing.
I can tell from that little spell card, a certain sister of mine would be very, very happy to have it. She loves her ocean deck, to say the least.
Yeah. Right, what other cards in... I'm going to put this forward to you guys now. What cards currently in Abyss Rising do you guys think are underrated or just not represented enough?
I'm very interested in that Forbidden Dress.
Yeah, Forbidden Robe is, I think, very, very underrated.
Target one face-up monster on the field until the end phase. That target loses 600 attack and it cannot be destroyed by other card. I want that card.
I thought
you know what? It looks Egyptian as well. I want it.
Well, they all do. If you think about it, they've all got this sort of Egyptian thing with the chalice, the lance, and now the dress.
Well, it's actually Egyptian/Greek because of the style. It's just because I'm an archaeologist. I know this sort of kind of thing.
I know this may seem weird, but I'm looking at number 64, Mind Pollutant, and thinking, seems good.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know, Mind Pollutant, it's a normal spell card where you discard one monster to target one monster of the same level and take control of that until the end phase.
That's basically another mind control. Or brain control.
It is. Now, what archetype, I'm not going to say because I want you guys to guess, what archetype do you think could use that to good potential?
Fabled?
Yeah, thank you. Fabled.
Wow. Because Fables are mainly level 3s and 4s, and a lot of duelists use level 3s and 4s mainly, don't they?
Yeah, now, especially with the mermaids, them being themselves mainly, I think, level 3, level 4.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That is very interesting to say the least.
For me, I'm looking at Deep Sweeper. I think that's pretty much underrated. It's pretty much an exiled force, but spells and traps.
What number is that, Dracovish?
Number 7.
Alright.
You contribute this card to target one spell trap on the field, destroy that target.
It looks like a trilobite.
A what?
A trilobite. You know, the shelled creature that swam in the earth like millions of years ago?
Yeah, actually, Deep Sweeper does kind of look like a trilobite. You're right there.
I'm not too good with names in this area.
Well, you're a painter and decorator, Richie. You're not especially an archaeologist.
I'm also a stable boy, don't forget.
Yes.
Anyway.
The archetype I'm most intrigued by, and especially the support in the next set of Cosmoblazer, which I'm sure we'll talk about later on, is the Heraldic Beast archetype. Especially their rank 4 Xyz in this set is beyond.
Oh, yes. They're
Heraldic. Yeah, because there was a Herald. Bleh! I can't speak tonight. Jeez, oh. There's a Beast Aberconway in this set, and it was a dragon, so that was the first thing that caught my interest. But its effect is a little bit.
Its effect is a little bit hard to pull off, but it could be once more heraldic support gets released, it will be very.
Well, pretty much the rank 4 Xyz state needs 2 level 4 Heraldic Beast monsters to summon. It's a Psychic 2400, 1800 defense. Once per turn, you can target one phase of Xyz monster your opponent controls. This card's name and original attack become that of the monster's current same name and current attack, and the effect of this card becomes of that monster you targeted, and that monster you targeted its attack becomes 0 and its effects negated. These changes last to the end of the turn. So basically, it's a Black Rose combined with a Dark Panther, and the stupid thing about this card is you don't detach any Xyz materials whatsoever for the effect.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, because at first when I first read it I thought, oh, there's got to be some catch, you've got to detach for that effect, but no, I mean, I've seen this card used to stupid effect to get around, actually, one of the cards in this set that is incredibly stupid, and that is I think it's Dyson Sphere, I can't remember what number it is, I think it's number 9.
Yes.
Number 9, Dyson Sphere.
No, I was right. Because that card is, it's a bit dumb, let's be honest. I mean, I think, Darkness L, you know the combo for Inzectors to go into this in a turn, don't you?
Essentially, it involves this and Tasuna Gate. I won't go into much detail, but pretty much it's pretty legit once you combine the combos and get the effects off. So
yeah,
it's make this.
Yeah,
essentially you combine shenanigans with Hornets, Dragonflies, and Centipedes, make plays, and Ladybug if need be, and just make the thing with just 2 Insectors.
Right. The card we're talking about is. Hang on, let me find it. It is number. You've got me around this somewhere.
53.
Yeah, 53. Tannhauser Gate. Now, is it just me? Or does looking at this card scream first turn Photon Strike Bouncer with Tour Guide?
Have a look.
Well, target 2 monsters you control at the same time with a fast attack or less. Both monsters' levels become the combat.
Okay.
Damn!
So that would mean that it's not only that. I'm thinking. I'm for some reason I thought of Magi Girl for some reason.
Oh, Magi Star Magician.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know why. I just saw combine 2 level 2 tour guys, level 6 Magi Girl. But I was like, no wait, she needs spellcasters, doesn't she, for her Xyz?
Yeah, unfortunately, but that would be stupid if she could.
Just a bit.
Now, we were talking about genome heritage earlier, and I'd actually like to draw people's attention to number 40. This is One-Eyed Skill Gainer. It's quite a written-off super rare, actually, but in my opinion, I think it's kind of good.
Yeah, I agree. I quite like One-Eyed Skill Gainer as well. It's a shame its effect can only be used on another Xyz monster, but it's still really nice.
What do you think, Dr. Cell? About One-Eyed Skill Gainer?
To me.
Well, yes, you're Dark Cell, aren't you?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the card's alright. I think, personally, it can put in a lot of work depending on the actual build itself. But, again, it's one of those cards where people are not looking at it thinking, oh my goodness, it's the most amazing card in the world. But I dare say there's going to be one pro player who'll look into it or find the right build and then just abuse it, and then therefore the price of it going up and everything.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a sleeper in the set. As a lot of the cards we've talked about are, especially things like Tenhauser Gate. That thing is stupid in zombies. I'm just putting it out there now. And the fact that you have Zombie Master being able to pitch a Mizuki, bring back a, I don't know, say, Plague Spreader, make them both level 6, overlay. I know that's kind of a stupid play because there are some good rank 6s. Actually, no, what? Just forget what I've just said. Because making rank 6s in zombies, oh hello, if I'm correct, Strike Bouncer's a level 6, Swordbreaker's a level 6, and that's underrated as well, but we'll get into that in a later episode. I'd like to draw everyone's attention to Ball Blader. It is number 2.
Number 2.
Yes, number 2, as in you need a poo.
I really like this card as well.
What do you guys actually think of the card design? Because me personally, I think it is a brilliant bit of design. I mean, bringing out another Catasta that is a warrior, you can't search it with Rotomine, but it's 16 attack. No, oh yes, of course you can. Sorry, you can search this with Rota. I'm being a dumbass. This is coming from the person who plays Heroes. It's a
You're
Rose.
You're right about it being a mini Cantaster with its effect. Jeez, oh.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's not.
Sorry, Richie, carry on.
I mean, it's not as powerful as Catasta, but it's still good enough. And
I still hate Cataster, just to make that clear for everybody. I really hate that card because it keeps killing my Blueberry!
Well, now you're going to have to watch out for Bull Bladers as well in your near future.
Geez, oh no!
To be honest, I can see this being incorporated in sort of an anti-meta deck with like Breakers, Kaikus, Banishers.
Joy.
What do you think about Ball Blader Darkness?
The card seems, again, it's like a mini Catasta. And again, can put in a lot of work. And the fact being that you can make it with the fact it's a warrior, you can make a blade armor play and stuff. So, and you can make Excalibur plays.
I didn't think about that actually. That's given me a kind of good idea for the fact you can go Ball Blader, kill your monster, main phase 2, make a blade armor ninja, swing. Well, obviously.
Grief! You had to give him that idea, Darkness Elf.
I was just thinking on the spot. I didn't really think much into it. I was thinking blade armor's a good card. Excalibur's a good card. We can go with this.
Yep, we're dead.
Right, I think I'm going to have to build a deck with 3 copies of Ball Blader in.
Oh dear.
Now, it of course means getting the bastard first, which is going to be bloody hard because any card I want, people at locals seem to hoard. Joy.
It's a common. It shouldn't be that hard to pick up.
Yes, but this is my locals we're talking about, Richie. There is only two types of people there. People who have the good cards and don't care about their commons and leave them lying around so I can steal them. Or people who just pick up.
Oh dear.
Or there are the people who pick up, take their commons, no matter how hard you want them off them. For example, I wanted a poison of the old man off of someone. He tried charging me £3 for the thing.
What?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
£3 for a poison of the old man? That's not even worth that. It's worth, what, 15, 20p if you're lucky?
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't even see that much play anymore.
Well, no, this was when I was being a troll and playing Burn. But anyway, enough of my locals trolling exploits. I think it's time to move on to our next topic, which is a Cosmo Blazer set overview. Bear in mind, this is the set that is bringing us the Fire Fists, I think they're called. A lot more water support, Heraldic Beasts, and is also bringing us the Haze Beasts and a lot of fire support, along with the utterly broken Pyrex the Fire, the Elemental Lord.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that thing is done. But anyway, let's get on with the set review. It is Cosmo Blazer.
What?
Now, immediately one card that draws my attention, and I think you, Darkness Owl, will like this, is Heraldic Beast Leo. It's...
Yes, the card is instant pluses all over the shop. Right,
Yeah.
Don't get me started on this card. Okay, right, we're going to do this, right? Basically, you summon it, it gets destroyed in the end phase. You get to search for a Heraldic Beast card. Seems legit. 2000 beats deck. Cool. Can be used with Horn of the Phantom Beast. Legit. And
It's level 4.
yeah, and it's like, oh, hello, I can make the rank 4 play, and it's just like, I'm going to proceed to make some plays even under being reborn and everything, and I'll chain it, and it's just like, cool, we can make do with this.
Well, not even
like
starting the fact that Heraldic Beasts have their own Monster Reborn, so essentially you're running 4 Monster Reborns in the deck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have
And
Reborn
the
Heraldry or
fact
something.
being is the fact, oh, MST chain Caller Horn to get a +1 off Leo, so
Oh,
it's
that's...
like the card's just bad. Not bad. I say really, really good. And the fact being that they've got, the Monster Reborn, like the advanced Heraldic Art, is the most ridiculous spell I've seen in my life for ages. You basically set 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard, you special summon them, and immediately make an XC summon. And then they've got a spell card in Cosmo Blazer. Basically, it's a Monster Reborn 3 times. So all I can say is, look them up, pick them up cheap, and let's see where we go with it.
Yeah, one other thing I would like to say is Heraldic Beast Unicorn. It's a level 4 beast, so can go into some beast XCs if we get any of those. You can banish this card from your grave to target one XC, Psychic type XC's monster in your grave and special summon it. Its effects are negated.
Yep.
What the hell matters? You still just go, oh, bring back a bloody Genome Heritage, or any of their other Psychic type XCs, if there are any, I don't know. You go, oh look, bring back this, swing for game, profit. Now, another series of cards that are seem to me quite interesting is Garbage Ogre and Garbage Lord. Garbage Ogre is a level 3 dark fiend with 800 and 1300, 800 attack, 13 defense. And you can send this card from your hand to the grave to add one Garbage Lord from your deck to your hand. You can only use him once per turn. Okay, pretty fine. Garbage Lord, you can special summon this card from your hand by paying 2k. This card cannot be used for the XC's material of an XC's. This card cannot be used as an XC's material for the XC's summon of a dark, unless it's dark. Okay, it's 24 defense as well, no attack, but it's rank 5. It's level 5. Now, I have thought of a stupid play you can do if you open Dark Armed and Garbage Ogre and E-Teleport. Discard Ogre.
Right.
Get Lord, pay 2k to special Lord, activate Teleport, bring out Krebens, sink for a 7, drop Dark Armed.
Oh dear.
And last time I checked, Scrap Archfiend was a level 7. So you have 28 and 27 on board for the cost of 2,000 life points, which is the cost of a warning, which really no one really cares about anymore.
That's true.
And they say Dark Shadow Fighters shouldn't come back.
That is
Yes.
it's actually really interesting that nobody really cares about paying life points anymore. I think it's because the game goes so quickly, you don't have time to think about life points. You get your play, and if you've got the bigger field, and you can get them down to 0 within a couple of turns, that's it.
I think, I think at the moment Yu-Gi-Oh goes by the philosophy of I don't need life points as long as I have 1 to reduce yours to 0. That's all that matters.
Always the way.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny. It's kind of reminding me of Malik from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. I'll keep 1 life point and wipe you out with the rest with Raw.
Oh god, I wish Ra actually had a decent effect. Don't get me
I know.
started. It makes me sad. Now, who, bar myself, is up to looking at the the Fire Fist archetype?
I'm intrigued by them, especially the new version of Sig Things and Nephi, which is ridiculous.
Oh, that's in the starter deck, isn't it? Garunix
Yeah,
the Fire
essentially,
Lord.
it's basically a global. What makes this card really good is the fact it says on the card, when this card is destroyed during the next standby phase, it comes back.
I come back, I blow up your field, I'm a 27 beat stick. Oh, and by the way, did I mention I have Fire King Fire Ring? So if you go to kill me with a bottomless and it's quick play, I'll just destroy myself again. Nah.
Pretty much, good sir.
That's very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, the new Fire Starter deck is going to be pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Now, I
just noticed a card here that's very interesting for warrior types. It's Valkyrie Knight number... hang on, I've just lost it, one idiot.
39?
Yeah, 39.
Yeah, I took a quick glance
So
at
that just looks to me like a powered up marauding captain, basically.
It looks cool. I'm going to collect these.
Your opponent cannot target face-up warrior monsters for an attack except for Valkyrie Knight, and it's a 19 attack beat stick level 4 fire type. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish both this card and one other warrior monster to target a level 5 or higher warrior monster in the grave and special summon it. Basically, this is a Queen Dragoon in warrior form.
Oh, hell no, I've just thought of a couple of cards you could use that with.
Elemental Hero?
No, actually, not Elemental Heroes.
Well, I was thinking of Neos, to be more specific.
Yeah, you could use it with Neos.
Yes, me too.
I was actually thinking you could use this with cards like Tiva, which is a very underrated warrior. Tiva is... hang on, I need to just quickly find it. I think it's level 5, it's 2000 attack, and when it's tribute summoned successfully, basically it's threatening your opponent, and it's light, so... It's not got an effect, but you can bring back a 2000 light, which is nice.
It can actually also revive the Vision Hero monsters as well.
Oh, fucking hell, it can as well.
So in other words, this would be a very good card for any warrior decks, especially the heroes or vision monsters.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because it makes being able to go into... God, what's it called? It makes being able to go into Rainbow Neos a bit easy, because you can just send this to the grave, revive your Neos, activate your Wrath of Neos, clean the board, and then be able to do plays. So actually not going into Rainbow Neos easily,
You're giving Dark Partition a lot of good ideas for his heroes deck, you know.
Yes,
I'm not too sure how well this will work in standard hero builds. Maybe anything that runs Blade Edge, definitely.
Yeah, I think in a Blade Edge
even so, even if you don't use its secondary effect a lot, because for heroes there's only a few high levels that are more bigger than 5, except for the fusions and stuff. But its first effect, to protect warrior monsters, is still pretty good, especially for most heroes which have low attack points. I mean, it's a 19 attack beat stick, which is quite hard to run over unless you're able to obviously tribute or exceed or fusion or synchro into something bigger.
Yeah, essentially. Now, I would like to draw your attention, all of you, to number 55.
Gagaga draw.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Gagagas might actually be meta, I'm thinking.
Oh my goodness.
Banish 3 Gagagas, draw 2, profit.
Yeah. Personally, I don't really like that cost. I'd rather have the god. Well, at the very least, in my Humor deck or my Prophecy Dark Magician deck, if I run more Gagaga monsters, I don't really like the idea of banishing them. I'd rather have Gagaga monsters on field or in grave.
Yeah, I think it would be better if different dimension burial from a different dimension was more than one, definitely.
So essentially, that thing's a cost effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically we've got Gagaga Diamond Dew Turbo coming about. Wicked.
Oh no, that's going to be dumb.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you could combine. Think about it though, because you could use Gagaga and DDT, and then you could also then you can throw in cards like Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade, remove your cards, and just toolbox and make any XEs you wish. Because Gagaga Magician is so stupid, and you can combine that.
Combine that with Summon a Monk, and you're laughing.
Oh yeah, Summon a Monk, get Diamond Dude, mill Gagaga, draw. You're getting 2 during the next turn. Overlay for Lava Valve Chain, detach, get the card I want on top of my deck. Oh, sorted.
And you do realise as well, there is another rank, you can use Alchemy Magician in that deck as well, because obviously you go Summon One, go Magician Overlay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've just found a card. Sorry to distract you guys, but I've just found a card I really like. It's called Charging Emperor.
Charging Emperor. Oh, I saw that. I was going to look at that. It's number 64.
Yeah, that one would be actually quite good in my Blue Eyes deck, and I think in Dark Magician deck if you relies on tributes as well.
Sorry, what's the card called?
What?
It's called Charging Emperor.
That is
That's
stupid.
going to be very good for the Monarchs.
Oh, look. I played Charging
Right,
Emperor, Res Tribune Frog, sack of cards.
While
Oh,
this
you
card is on
cool.
the field, it cannot be targeted by card effects. Tribute summoned monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed. Oh, the joy.
If I'm
Especially
correct,
Someone deck, which doesn't matter because Monarchs and other tribute-based monsters like Blue Eyes and Dark Magician don't rely on the extra deck.
if I'm correct,
So basically, Vanity's Fiend is near and on indestructible now.
Pretty much.
hang on, just a quick thing. If I'm correct, this means you can't negate their summon. Or am I being...
Hang on, have a look.
What does it read?
when this card is on the field, it cannot... While this card is on the field, it cannot be targeted by card effects. Tribute summon monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck.
Scapegoat, I think the keywords there is you control, which means they
Yeah,
have to
it hasn't hit the field. It still means you can't be Mirror Force or
Basically,
TT.
if the summon's successful, then they can't be done.
Yeah, alright.
Yes.
Bit wishful thinking, but that would be quite cool if you couldn't.
Because if that means that, because if that card wasn't worded like that and you couldn't negate the summon, Monarchs would become stupidly broken with this card.
They already
I'll
are
play
stupidly broken.
I'll play 3 Charging Emperor and I'll run all the Monarchs I need. You can't do F about it.
Now, I know one of us here is a Spellbook player. I know one of us here is going to appreciate the next card, which is Spellbook of Sifa.
Oh, let's have a look at that.
It's
What
number
is that?
62, and
It's
it's
just like
Oh, here we
two above the Charging Emperor.
yeah.
I see it now.
If you control a face-up spellcaster type monster, you can reveal one other Spellbook spell card in your hand to target one Spellbook normal spell card, which they all are, in your graveyard, except Spellbook of Sifa. As this card's effect resolution, it becomes that card. So essentially, you can go Secret, Sifa, Reveal, Secrets, Profit.
Yeah, that's
It's just basically our reusable. It's just basically our recycle card for spellbooks.
Well, they already have that in Grand Spellbook Tower, which we'll be getting onto later in the podcast, for those of you who are interested in prophecies.
The one
Yeah.
card. Oh, sorry, Darkness Hell, you go ahead.
No, I was just thinking back to that whole Gaga Diamond Do Turbo thing. Essentially, with that combo, you can make some nasty plays with Wonder Wand as well.
Oh,
See,
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I see what you're getting at there.
But essentially, what you can do, you can go Diamond. Sorry, what I want to say, Summon a Monk, did your spell, or in this case, Divine Sword. Get the Diamond Dude, play the Wonder Wand on the Summon a Monk, draw the. No, actually, no, wait, hang on a minute. Is it? It can't be tributed, can it? Is
No.
it destroy?
it can't be tributed, which really
Nah, that's fair enough.
sucked.
Oh, that would be kind of broken then. Never mind. That would be kind of. I was kind of hoping. That's wishful thinking.
Well, the one thing I'm quite interested in is number 92, Fake Body God Dragon, Heart Earth.
Oh, we
Dragon.
thought you'd be liking. We thought you'd like that, Emma.
It's an interesting effect, and it is very hard to summon because it's a rank 9 and it needs 3 rank 9. But the fact it's just a dragon. That's what interested me.
Oh shit! Guess what? I've just realised can make this card.
Wait, 3 level 9s.
Inzectors can make it.
How?
Right, the play is you have to go Dragonfly equipped with Inzector Sword while you get Hornet engraved. You equip Hornet to Dragonfly, you nuke your Inzector Sword, adding Hornet back to hand, get 2 more Inzectors out who are level 3, so that's basically 2 more Centipedes. Activate Tannhauser Gate overlay.
Oh god.
Right, I'm picking up Tannhauser Gates now. Oh look, I'll just make a fucking stupid Xyz. I detach, banish your entire field. Hey!
And when this card is destroyed by an XYZ monster, it has an XYZ material, it can be special summoned from the graveyard, and it gains 1,000 attack for each card currently banished. So if you get rid of like 6 or 7 cards on the field in total, and this thing gets destroyed and comes back, you're basically going to have a 6,000 attack monster.
Actually, you know what? I've had a thought this would work well with.
What?
I know this is an incredibly Timmy combo, but if you could Inferno Tempest them, then go into this.
Oh!
Screw.
Think about it. Wind-ups run, what, 20 monsters? Oh, that's fine. I run however many, say 20 for argument's sake. I have a 40,000 attack point monster. Do you wish to scoop? And this is where Darkness Cell comes in with his predictable comment about one card that I had, well, that we both love.
Well, pretty much, going back to the Tuskura Gate thing, I just thought of another card that could be quite funny in this situation.
Is it called Magic
Yeah.
Cylinder by any chance when you make a 40,000 Heart Earth Dragon? And
That'd be hard to do, because considering if you wipe the field and banish everything, you're going to have a hard time using the Magic Cylinder.
Oh, wait, no, it banishes all cards that your opponent normal special. Oh, wow, it does do sets as well. I'm sorry, I totally misread that.
Basically, I'm thinking of more of a different card to conduct the whole summoning shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
What common came out in Return of the Duelist that's a spell, right, that changes levels?
Is that not a Resonate device or something?
Nope. Galaxy... Is it Galaxy... No, wait a minute.
Oh, were you talking about Star Changer?
No, hang on a minute.
Oh.
I'm going to find this card now. I want to make this effect.
Alright, while you look for this card, who wants a normal trap card that's an effect veiler?
What?
Look at Breakthrough Skill. This is number 78.
Breakthroughs.
It's a super rare as well.
Picture.
Yeah, it's got Dolka getting boned. Right, what it does is, for those of you at home, target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn. You negate that target's effects, and during your turn, except during the turn this was sent to the grave, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one face-up effect monster and negate its effects during the turn.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
Right.
It's like a double effect veiler in one turn.
essentially. And Darkness Cell has come back to us with this common, we are dying to know.
Right, basically, put it like this. That one that needs 3 level 9s,
Yeah.
Chaos Dragons make easy, right? Galaxy Queen's Light.
Oh,
Target one face
thank
up
you.
level 7 or higher monster you control. The levels of all of the face up monsters you currently control become the same as that monster's level.
so basically it's like Tannhauser Gate, except it doesn't require them all to have 1,000 or less attack.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just realised the problem with the combo I was saying earlier about Tannhauser Gate. They need to be 1,000 or less, and Centipedes have 1,600.
Yeah.
So, and you can't even use
Then
Galaxy
again,
Queen's
you've
Light.
got Ladybug.
Yeah, but Ladybug's level 2.
You can make it happen.
Yeah, you could make it happen. I will work out the combo and I'll post it in the description. Actually, I've just figured it out. I think.
Go on.
Well, because if I'm correct, Tannhauser Gate, is it select 2 monsters or is it just your entire field?
2 seconds. I'm going to get the card up now.
Because if it selects 2, then that combo doesn't work and I will think of another one.
And just so they had a 4. Think back to that Crypt spell in the first XE structure deck.
Oh, what? The dumb one?
the boost thing.
Oh, well, what? Xy's boost or something?
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, getting back to breakthrough skill.
I'm just going to say, ouch. That's like a... It's probably it could be a side... I think I'm seeing that more as a side deck tech in case you need to add more effect veiler power, basically.
Yeah, I'm actually going to call it now and say this card is going to be fucking batshit on crackers. Crazy. And I honestly am calling it now. That thing is going to be a money card from the set, and if it's not, I'm going to want 3.
Well, what's the betting it'll get bumped up in rarity and in price?
To be fair, it's probably going to be a super.
It could even be. It could be boosted up to an ultimate.
Oh,
If
well,
it's that-
actually,
if
it's a
it's,
super already, so it's
it's
probably going to be a secret.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Konami do the annoying things that they normally do and probably make this a secret.
If they make it a secret, I'm going to find whoever did it in Konami and kick them in the face. As well as find whoever in Konami apparently says that Doom Caliber Knight doesn't negate bloody Gen X Undyne, as well as Effect Veiler, and kick them in the face as well.
Which reminds me, an interesting ruling came up at the weekend.
Oh, right.
Apparently, well, the argument was basically Deep Vision versus Christian, right? Basically, it was, I don't know what the whole match was, but basically the head judge queried me with finalising a ruling. And basically, if you Soul Taker Christian while Deep Vision on the field, apparently the player was trying to argue will go back to the top of the deck. I'm like, well, no, because Deep Vision prevents the whole monsters going to go completely, so therefore Christian gets shut off.
Exactly.
Right?
Basically, Christian gets banished.
I was trying to argue saying, oh, it will go back to the top of the deck, but it's like, no,
Because it needs to go to the graveyard first in order to activate that effect, correct?
Yeah, it's the same as Madolche's in a respect. Basically, for any of those who don't know, for an effect like Christian or a Madolche effect, they have to hit the grave, then they bounce back and do silly shenanigans if it's Madolche's, or if it's Christian, just add another one to hand. Now,
I have to admit, it really does surprise me the amount of players who can't read their cards right and can't understand simple effects like that.
Yeah, we'll be talking probably more about that in podcasters' discussion. Now, the main meat of Cosmo Blazer is on the Brave Fire Fist archetype and the Haze Beast archetype, which are fire types. Now, they all revolve around cards like the Flaming Dances. Now, they have a rotor, and they're all they're continuous spells and traps. They have one called Tenki, which is number 59, and number 58 is Tensu. Now, Tenki is basically a rotor for any Beast Warrior type, and gives them an extra 100 attack, I think. And Tensu gives you an extra normal summon of Beast Warrior type, and gives all Beast Warriors 100 more attack points. Now, what do we think of that archetype just from looking at these two spells?
Well, I don't really know much about them personally. I mean, I've heard that they're stupidly good, and I've heard a couple of people say they haven't lost games with them, but I don't understand what they do or what they're about.
Right. Basically, from my small knowledge of them, I'll list the cards. We start with the Brave Fire Fist Ensho, who's once per turn, when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the grave, you can choose one Flaming Dance spell card from your deck and set it in the back row. Once per turn, you can send up one face-up Flaming Dance spell to target one back row and destroy it. So it's basically a breaker. And they're all Beast Warriors. Then we have Dark Fire Fist Yushi, who's been renamed, I think, Bear in the English. Who's once per turn, when this inflicts battle damage, you can set one Flaming Dance spell card from your deck into the back row. Then once per turn, you can send one face-up Flaming Dance to this to the back row, to the grave, to destroy a monster. Essentially, they revolve around the Flaming Dances, going to the grave, and toolboxing.
You know what they look like to me? They look like a mix of the Six Samurai combined with star constellations. That's what it looks like to me, because you've got the bear, you've got I'm just looking at Minute Firefist Ryushin. That's based on the Dragon constellation, and then we've got Majestic Firefist Narian, which is based on the Serpent constellation. I can't remember the names of them. You have to forgive me.
Yeah.
And then it just honestly looks like what's the other archetype that came out with the Heretics that was underestimated?
Oh.
Constellars?
No, Constellars aren't out yet.
Constellars. It looks like that, because I've seen a few pictures of Constellars. It looks like they're mixed with that and Six Samurai.
Yeah, I mean, essentially they work, function a lot like Six Samurai. However, there's one card which apparently they mitigate Veiler. I don't know how they do, but we'll probably do a more in-depth episode on these cards, but it's just a general overview. But this is the main card I wanted to talk about. It's called Charging Fire Fist King Soko. It is number 48. It's a 22, 18 rank 4 that requires 2 Beast Warrior types. When this card is Xyz summoned, you can select one Flaming Dance spell and trap, so again the theme of setting them in the back row. And then once per turn you can detach an Xyz material to negate the effects of all non-Beast Warrior type monsters currently face up on the field until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's a mini Shockmaster. And then when this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can send 3 face-up Flaming Dance spell or traps to the grave to special summon 2 level 4 lower Beast-type monsters with the same attack from your deck in face-up defense.
So in other words, if this card goes, when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you basically, if you've got another 2 of these in your extra deck, you're just going to resummon it again, basically.
Yeah, basically on your next turn you're going to get another one out.
Yeah.
Seems legit.
Yeah, and it's a full field skill drain. I mean, I know myself and Darkness L have had some quite disgusting experiences against this particular bastard, haven't we?
Yes, indeed, good sir, indeed.
I think that's enough Cosmo Blazer reviews. There are the last 2 I want to go through. Is number 49 and number 51. This is just going over the Haze Beast Xyz quickly. The first one is Haze Beast Basilicock.
I think that's supposed to be reminiscence of the legendary Basilisk, which was a giant, like a cuckoo or a chicken-like creature. People mix it up with a snake. It's born from a snake. It's actually like a chicken that's got a lethal stare.
Yeah, basically, you can Xyz this with 2 or more level 6 fire monsters, maximum of 5. How you're supposed to get 5 level 6 fires on the field is beyond me from looking at this Xyz.
Good luck.
Well, I think they all special summon themselves and do some silly things, but I've not actually looked. And then once per turn, you can detach an Xyz material to target one monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. Fuck off. And this card gains effects based on the number of Xyz. 3 or more, it gains 200 attack and defense for each Xyz material. 4 or more, it can't be targeted by your opponent's spells, traps, or card effects. And 5+, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So essentially, you summon this with 4 materials, and it is a 3700, can't be targeted bastard.
Are you sure the effects accumulate?
Yeah, it says this card gains effects, so I assume they would stack.
Oh my goodness
Well,
gracious me.
put it like this, I hear DNA Transplant's a good card.
Yeah. And the last card of the set I'd like to look at, personally, because I think the art is kick-ass, is number 51, Terra Fang Wolf Deerwolf. I love this.
Terra Fang Wolf, let's have a look.
It's 2 level 4, so it's generic. It's 2,000, 12 defense. I love the art. I want them. And once per turn, you can detach one Xyz to target one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast type monster you control and destroy them. So this works with the Fire starter deck coming out, essentially.
It can also work with Dragoonity since it targets Winged Beast.
Yes, it can work with a great deal of things, but it's mainly, in my eyes, to do with the starter deck, which we'll probably get onto in another episode directly looking at them. Now, I think we've discussed this for long enough, don't you?
Yeah.
So, we are going to move on to segment number 3, the Elemental Lord Cycle, and what can they do with the next ones? Because we have 2 currently in the TCG, Mulan Glycia and Granso, and we have revealed another one in Pyrex. What can we do? What can they do with the Wind, Dark, and whatever other ones there is? I can't remember the attributes.
Well, if they're going with this thing that Grand Soil is a monster born on legs, Pyrex is a ring of destruction.
Well, half a ring of destruction.
I'm not entirely sure what Magulika. I can't even remember.
Mulan Glacier.
That one. I'm not entirely sure what the water one might be based off.
It's meant to be based on... Yeah, that.
It's meant to be what, sorry?
Delinquent Duo.
Delinquent Duo. What other banned cards we know, or old cards we know? We've got Brain Control.
Yeah.
Harpy's Feather Duster. The win one's going to be Harpy's Feather Duster.
Actually, I've just had a thought. The spiritual art cards. Because if you look at the Elemental Lords, Grand Soul's effect is essentially Kurogane, Spiritual Earth Art Kurogane. The effect of Milon Glacier is a powered up version of Spiritual Water Art Oi, or Aoi. And Pyrex is sort of a Kurunite. So if we look,
never thought of that.
so if we, I just nicked this from the wiki. I'm being selfless, and I just looked at it and went, oh. So essentially, the Wind one is probably going to be a souped-up Phoenix Wing Blast, but I would love it to be a Harpy's Feather Duster.
It would make sense if it would be, because obviously it's a wind type, and Harpy's Feather Duster was attributed to wind apparently in some games and stuff.
Yeah, I personally think the Dark one's going to be incredibly broken and either like give you plus millions or.
It's probably going to be something along the lines of Control, because that's kind of dark power in a way.
Yeah.
It's always been portrayed in Yu-Gi-Oh, or Mind Control, I suppose, has always been portrayed in Yu-Gi-Oh as a evil dark power.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what could be for light. I'm just having a look. You know, that'd be funny if Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect was light type.
Piss off, Chicken Little. You can get out for that.
Honestly, I think the light one's. I think the light one's gonna be. Yeah, true.
Magician of Faith, she's a light type.
Dark Magician of Chaos. No, better yet, Yatagarasu.
Yes, please.
No!
Yes, please, give me Yatalon.
No, Yatagarasu.
Yes, Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu
No,
is awesome.
that's what the dark one should be. It's Change of Heart. I can't believe I forgot about that. The dark one could be Change of Heart.
That's interesting.
The dark one could be a crush card.
Don't be disgusting.
Oh dear. What about the Temple of the Kings?
So it would be essentially a Makiura.
As soon as I'm summoned, I can play a trap card from my hand.
As soon as I'm summoned, let's be Makiura. Plus.
Or Pot of Greed. What happens if it was Pot of Greed? I get summoned, I get to draw 2 cards.
Oh, that would be broken and like because the others.
Sorry, I just had a thought. If the dark one's gonna be a graceful charity,
What about
dark ones will be broken as sin.
Oh my god.
No.
What about Regiki?
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean,
Because that's like an ultimate forbidden banned card thingy my bobber.
Yeah.
well, the way I'm looking at it, I think the Elemental Lord cycle is quite cool because it's given Konami a lot of design space to actually design around the Lords. Because you think about it, well, Grand Story it gave them an awesome idea to bring out some awesome Earth archetypes. Same with Moon on Glacier when they brought out Mermails. And if you look at it, if I'm correct, I can't especially remember off the top of my head, but Madolches are Earth, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Madolches with Grand Soil, admittedly that would be a bit hard, but I'm just thinking here. Then you've got Mermails to go with Moon on Glacier, the Fire Fists and all the other stuff in Cosmo Blazer to go with Pyrex. So what's the stupid wind archetype going to be? I mean, I know there's Gustos out, which can toolbox like a motherfucker, but still.
But they haven't really been touched a lot, have they? Unless they're going to bring in more support. I just clicked my shoulder for anybody's wondering.
Ow.
There's also Dragoonities and Harpies.
Oh, if they...
If you think about it, these ones have come out with the new archetype elemental stuff that's been coming out. So they're probably going to, after the fire, they're probably going to do Wind's next, because Wind's been one of the more popular ones.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, and they're probably going to leave the light and dark archetypes till last. So we're probably going to get something along the lines of new Dark Worlds and new Light Swords, basically, once they come around.
Oh, that's going to be busted though. If they bring out a new sort of Light Sworn archetype, that would be just broken. Because I mean, personally, I think the light one's going to have to do with something with your graveyard. So you could go, summon the light one, maybe put some lights back in your hand, like a beckoning light style effect, or... So, I'm not sure. I mean, I think that the Elemental Lords are great, because everyone knows they're good now since Jeff Jones proved how broken Grand Soil was. I mean...
Was he the one who used that random psychic deck?
Yeah, Grand Soil Psychics. He was the one who actually built the deck, because before that actually happened, Grand Soils were like, you could pick them up for what, maybe maximum of a $5. People didn't want them; they were throwing them away. And then it's now like the lowest I've seen one for was £10 on eBay on bid, which I could have bid on. I feel like a dick now. Could have got a Grand Soul for a tenner.
Well, the thing is that what happened was, Yumi was on watching the feed that morning of the second day of YCS, wherever it went, Toronto.
Yeah, right? It's Toronto.
And basically, there were 10 each, right? We were contemplating it, thinking Jeff Jones is going to go really far here. Home behold, he comes second, and it goes up to £50 each. So it's like, it just goes to show, one pro player puts it on the map, and it's just like, oh my goodness, must be the best thing in the world, must play it. And I just love it how not a single word has been mentioned since then of the all right in the tops. So it is purely. This is one thing I like about Jeff Jones as a player. He is a player who will go with an initiative, in, his own idea of a deck and do well with it. He doesn't classify meta always. He'll do some meta calls like Melantians. Fair enough, he take out his style, which is good. But it's like the whole Drill Warrior Plant thing when he won New Jersey. That was insane. And, being at that event and seeing him in person, he's a very high caliber player, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows all these technical little minuscule rulings that classify him as a good player, because he knows the ins and outs of these things.
Well, it's like the whole thing, as we were saying earlier, cards that are underestimated in the game right now. For example, if someone built a good deck, say, I don't know, I'm going to use it as an example, Bullblader. If someone used Bullblader in a deck, it would go from like a 10p common that no one wants and are just chucking it out, to a sought after card. It's like Photon Thrasher. For like the first week of the set, people were like, well, it's alright, but it's not the best card ever. And then suddenly people thought, well, actually, Bubblebeat. And then it shot up, and it's now like a 2-3 quid common. 2-3 quid rare, sorry. So if you think about it, it's just creative deck building. I mean, anyone here could take one card that no one uses and say, right, I'm going to go and take this to a regionals. And if they won it, and then people would listen. Because they think, oh, well, I've got to be like him. And that's the Yugioh mentality. Now, does anyone else have anything to say on the Elemental Lords?
Not at the moment, so I think we've discussed everything possible about them.
Yeah,
because there's only 3 out anyway, and they're still untested territory, I would say, but still very, very good.
Yeah. I think we'll probably come back to the Elemental Lords in a later episode. So now we're moving on to our final topic of the night before podcasters' discussion. And this is about prophecies. Now, I know someone in this call, as I've mentioned before, is playing prophecies right now, and that is our good friend Dark Magician.
Well, I'm still in the early stages of playing them in real life.
Yeah. Now, if we look at prophecies, are they the new Lightsworn? Because you look at Lightsworn when they first came out. Hollow. There was like one good rare and a couple of good commons. And you look at the deck as prophecies, it's all hollow, it's all high end, it's all expensive.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, the Grand Spellbook Tower.
Pain to get hold of, and the Grand Spellbook Tower is also going to be a pain to get hold of.
But here's the key question. Even though a lot of these cards are hollows, from what I've seen, have they actually done really well at YCSs and stuff?
No, they've not really. No one's really been playing them because they're all so hollow. I mean, I'm looking on eBay at the moment, and the Grand Spellbook Tower, the cheapest I've seen it is £30. with free postage, and that's for one.
Wow.
I mean, if that was for like a pack of 3, then yeah, that would be alright.
Yeah, if that was.
So,
Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
there's someone I know who, who I got to know recently who comes to the AS3 and Dead Universe Comics tournaments called Miles. His YouTube name is Duelist Milesy. Go check him out. He's built a Prophecy deck, and the other day he actually won a tournament with it.
Nice.
The thing is, I think prophecies are very good. I mean, you look at it, they have their own Machina Fortress in High Priestess of Prophecy, who just goes,
Yeah.
I don't like that card, knob off.
Well, I see High Priestess as more of a new Dark Arm Dragon and Master Hyperion.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But then they have things like Spellbook Magician, which is a Stratos. They've got Justice, who is Justice and Temperance, who basically just say, we want this monster, High Priestess, now.
Yeah, Temperance is also, I consider her to be Dark Magician's new best friend.
Yeah, Temperance is really good. Now, if you look at, I'm looking at the wiki here, and it says they're actually based off tarot cards, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of
And
weird.
they're actually based off because if you look at there's actually a wee list there. It says like the Fool of Prophecy is based on the Fool. The Magician's the High Priestess is actually based off the High Priestess. You've got the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierocat, the Lovers, which has been reading the Armoire of Prophecy, which is quite interesting. Then you've got the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, Justice, Hangman, Death, which is kind of scary because it's called Reaper of Prophecy.
Yeah, Reaper of Prophecy is actually not a bad card.
See, Prophecy Destroyer. It's actually based off the Devil.
Yeah, Prophecy Destroyer is not bad as well. For those of you who don't know what Prophecy... Sorry, Dark Magician. Carry on.
I quite like Prophecy Destroyer. I don't like that you have to banish 3 spellbook spells to special summon it from the grave, but it's still a really nice card, and it actually seems very similar to the Summoned Skull.
Yeah, that's a point, actually. And the other thing with prophecies is, even though you're saying you don't like to banish them, banish your spellbooks from the grave, you have spellbook, that common spellbook that recycles.
Eternity.
Yeah, you have Eternity that's going to recycle, and as long as you can keep your Eternity cycling and cycling with, I know you don't have it, for example, but Grand Tower, and even when Spellbook of Sephir comes out in the next set, like we discussed earlier, it's going to be able to give. It's going to give prophecies a good deal of, or spellbooks, whatever they're called, a great deal of recursion. They can go into a grind game very easily. The problem I see and why they haven't been topping is that Mermails are simply faster than them. Abyss Megalo being able to double attack, swing for 48, and you can basically make game with very, very easy combos. I mean, I've played the deck and it is bonkers. You can do quite a few stupid things, and it is sad to see because spellbooks are a very good archetype. I mean, we're still waiting for a lot of their support. I mean, they have some stupid things like Spellbook Starhall, which is just dumb.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is the Dragon Duelist girl who we know used to play Dragon decks. She's actually swapped over to Prophecy.
Yeah.
And she rates them as very, very good.
They are very good. The problem is they're very easy to knock off kilter because they rely on spellbooks and searching. You summon Thunder King and they just go.
Because I think I think what's going to happen this type is because yes they're not in favour at the moment because the Mermails and that are faster if you like and a bit more consistent as you said. But give it a bet, there's going to be 1 or 2 cards for them that will be introduced that will turn this deck around, that will make them an OTK.
Yeah, I hate to say
something.
there will be.
Because look at Chaos Dragons. Everybody really hated that deck until they figured out the Future Fusion thing.
Yeah,
and then
true.
that's when the deck took off because of that one card. This is probably what's going to happen with Prophecy. I've got a funny feeling. It's good now, but there'll be one card that somebody will find, or it'll be introduced in the next couple of sets that will boost this deck up somehow.
The problem with them is that Thunder King just shits on them because they need their searches from from Secrets and Spellbook Magician. If they can't get their searches off, they kind of struggle. And as long as cards like Thunder King exist in the game, they're kind of boned.
It's funny you should mention Thunder King, because, yeah, it definitely seems to be one of two things that prophecies are going to be weak to. The other thing being the Churia Beast.
Yeah.
That gets summoned against me. I'm screwed.
Yeah,
because that's the one that discards 2 cards to negate a spell card, isn't it?
yeah, mill 2 to negate.
Mills 2 cards, sorry.
It's the whole thing. If you can get out and set board advantage quickly, then you're fine, which is a good thing. One thing I do like about prophecies is the fact that they have Spellbook of Life. That card is actually quite good. And the fact you can use it to bring back an Effect Veiler. This is a play I've seen done. Spellbook of Life and Effect Veiler, and you can synchro for Ancient Sacred Wyvern. And when you've been blowing up continually cards, that's kind of dumb, I hear.
I can't seem to use Spellbook of Life that well when I tried it out. Maybe it's because I'm playing the deck wrong, I don't know. But when I tested Life, it hasn't been as helpful as I thought it would be.
But you have to remember, Dark Magician, there's a standard build that everybody will use, and then there's loads of other builds of the same deck that have maybe a few techs that make the deck work better for them. It's just trial and error.
Yeah.
Deck building.
Yeah,
So there's no real wrong way of using a deck unless you're really that. I'm not trying to be offensive here, but if you're really that dumb to play it wrong, it just takes a lot of trial and error to find which version of the deck and which techs actually work out best for you.
Yeah, I agree with
it could be you're not using the card wrong. It's just you're just trying to find what works best for you.
I think it's the fact that you're trying other things with the deck that aren't sort of the norm, which is in fact what is, if you like, getting in the way of how prophecies, quote unquote, should be played.
Well,
do you want my honest view about prophecies?
Yes.
Right. Prophecies are basically a theme deck. They've got a rotor, pro rotor, against a rotor, and they've got a rotor for that rotor.
Right.
Either that or they're.
So essentially, you fund the kingdom and they're done.
Yeah, you Thunder King them and then you puppet plant their High Priestess. That's always funny.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the combos with Spellbook Magician and Spellbook Secrets is that they work in a similar way to gadgets.
They're just rarity whore gadgets. Because I mean, I've not seen a deck yet of prophecies that doesn't have 3 ultimate Spellbook Magicians, and it's just like you're spending all your money on this. Come on.
I got 3 ultras. That's good enough for
me. The thing is with the ultimates now, you can't see the picture. It's just like, well, someone's taken a card written Spellbook Secrets on the top and had a shit in the middle.
Yeah.
But
pretty much, if a Samurai player or Karakuris can get out first in the True Beast, they're going to be pushing a lot of damage because unless they can get off the Prophecy turn 1, so the High Priestess, then they're very.
That's not actually as hard as you'd think.
And that's why. In that kind of situation, I need to try and find a way to fit in Chaos Sorcerer and BLS to deal with them.
Yeah, I think in your deck that would be a good idea because BLS and Sork would just be like herp.
Well, I've got my way of stopping them, and that's Lad. Lad just stops anything. So as soon as she comes out, it's like, oh, you can't do anything.
Well, I have my way of. I have a way of stopping prophecies.
Unless you happen to find an incredibly annoying loop like Sandy did. Sandy found a way with Wind Up Rabbit.
There's also a way with Honest and Treeborn Frog, actually.
Yeah, Treeborn Frog is my best friend when it comes to dealing with Light and Darkness Dragon.
I feel my best friend when it comes to dealing with Light and Darkness Dragon, even though my deck can't really deal with it, is Hornet. Because you just get it down low enough and it's like, Hornet, pop, 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 I will kill your fucking card.
Aye, well, there's the loop with the lined up rabbit because it will try to banish itself, you negate its effect, you can now reactivate its effect.
That's the same with Honest.
One of my personal favourites is going, summon Honest. Effect to bounce negate, effect to bounce negate, effect to bounce negate, effect to bounce negate, attack.
Oh no, don't say that.
Actually, there's one better that I've done. It was, I summoned Dark Dust Spirit, negate the effect, okay, I end, bounce, 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 bounce. Oh look, I get Dark Dust Spirit back to hand. Thanks.
We've gone a bit off topic.
Yes, I think we do. But the thing is with prophecies, they're sort of a very tentative deck. You have to hit them quickly, otherwise they will dominate the field because they can just pop any card you want. The problem with them is they're quite slow because they have a rotor, and a pumper, and blah. The fact is, I believe personally they're going to be good in a slower format. If they were to hit Mermails down to where the fact that they are slower, they don't have like the Herpaderp Abyss Megalo plays, and they rule them sensibly, I'm not very pissed off that you can't Veilogenics Undine or anything, because that's apparently the ruling, which we'll get onto more in podcasters' discussion in just a bit. However, I personally think if you can set up your field quickly, you can win with prophecies, but if you can't, you're basically going to lose. And game 2 is always hard because people go, well, I'll side in Thunder Kings, I'll side in, Puppet Plant, whatever, and I can just push. Does anyone else have anything to say on the prophecy archetype? Or
Not at the moment.
I think they're going to be one to watch, though.
I can't think of anything else.
So we're moving on. This is the last topic of the night, and this is podcasters' discussion, where I open up the floor to the occupants of this podcast and let them go wild. So, guys, off you go.
Well,
Right, so basically, in terms of podcast discussion, I would like to discuss how what everyone thinks of the Astral Pack promos that just come out for official Konami sanctioned tournaments.
the Astral Pack, I've heard about that, but I haven't actually seen the list. Is anybody okay with linking me up with that, if I need to?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes, I'll link it up right now.
Thank you.
I'd like to see a list for this as well.
Essentially, they've done a good job, and what they've done this time around, instead of having 2 commons and a rare, or 2 common and a rare and a super, you can either get 2 commons and a super, or a common, a super, and an ultimate.
Okay, that's interesting.
And you guarantee the super in each pack, and there's 3 different ultimate rares. Right, so for everyone in the discussion right now, take a little gander at this bad boy.
Oh, let's have a look. See? 2 Tsukiyomi, Debris Dragon, Photon Crusher.
The Astral Pack.
Good grief. It's basically supporting everything you need in this format.
Yeah, I especially like the fact that they've printed Insect Centipede as a super.
They've also done Dragon Ice. That's actually quite a good substitute not a substitute, a good side thing in Mermails, apparently.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good main card. If you don't actually have the rest of the Mermail stuff, you can pick that up easily. I also like the fact that they've reprinted Swift Scarecrow and Close
What's
Forest.
actually quite funny?
Uh,
They've printed Astral Barrier. And it's kind of funny because if you look at the picture, Astral looks exactly like the character in that picture.
yeah, I believe the Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer mentioned that.
Oh, I like the Yugioh Musketeer. He's quite
funny.
a good YouTuber.
Yeah, go subscribe to him. The one card I do actually think was a really, really good reprint was Closed Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know that I love to play Gravekeepers, but this card bones them up. Also, with the fact that the Gates of Dark World is now a super, which I'm tempted to pick up,
Oh dear.
the whole thing is you can just play that over it and go, well, you're not doing anything. Other things like Kagamusha being a special summon, yeah, that would be awesome. Kagamusha being a super just allows you to hollow out your decks, and I think that's what it really is, to make sure that to give everyone access to the hollows that they want for their decks, essentially.
Oh, sorry, wait. Dr. Petition, you go first.
The other notable thing is that terraforming, for the first time ever, has become a hollow.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because it's always been a common, and it's got so many reprints in champ packs, turbo packs, structure decks, you name it. And now it's getting a hollow after all these years.
And I actually think the best super in there actually has to be also a combination between, or as Dark Magician was saying, Terraforming or Moray of Greed, because I think that's actually quite an interesting card.
and I'm saying this now, I'm still going by my theory about when they bring out a Toad Pack new ban list, that something's going to get hit by it. Because I've said this in the KA's conference podcast in the past, right? First Toad Pack that came out, Crush got reprinted, got banned. Same thing happened to Rescue Cat the year after. Same thing happened to Fishbowl Blaster. Yeah, Fishbowl Blaster the year after.
Yeah.
This one, we had a slight alteration. It got semi-limited, nothing got banned. But I do believe, and I'm 9% sure, out of the two, well, of these two, Undying or Gates of the Dark World is going to 2 or 1, as soon as we hit by a ban list. There's always a theme behind it.
I can't see the Gates of Darkwood, if I'm honest, because Darkwoods lose to themselves so often. I can see where you're going with Gen X Undyne. Personally, for me, I think it's going to be Gen X Undyne and Photon Thrasher, because that thing does see a lot of play.
Is he or Centipede? I think Centipede's going to go 2.
I don't want it to go to 2, shut up.
Well, no, obviously, but, you know.
If it goes to 2, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Oh dear. The one thing...
His fault.
I have to admit, I'm actually quite interested that Debris Dragon's been reprinted as an ultimate rare, which is kind of an unusual choice because we're in the XYZ era, but that, I think, Konami's trying to say, hey look, we still have synchros, still use your synchros.
Yeah,
Either that, or it's just a very failed attempt to do that.
I personally think Debris Dragon's good for exceeding as well with ninjas, but...
It is actually. If you bring back, with its effect, for example, the only level 4 dragon monster I can use with Debris Dragon is Golem Dragon, because it's got 200 attack, 2000 defense, so I can instantly summon it and exceed that way if I was using. But I think it's more than often used as it is as a tuner monster. So it synchros into Black Rose, which is probably the only synchro monster that still sees major play. If you're lucky.
Yeah, I can see that.
How would Debris Dragon work with ninjas?
Well, there's a play that you can do that I saw on Galactic Gods channel, though I was aware of it before, where you can go summon Debris Dragon, bring back white Upstart Golden Ninja, overlay the two. Is also really stupid in Chaos Dragons or anything that you can go, because you can go Debris, Card Trooper, activate the cost of the effect, which is the mill 3, sync up, which is quite cool because you can go into then a big ass in Ancient Fairy or something.
Yeah.
Now, I know Darkness L, you wanted to do a small ruling segment within today's podcast discussion. So I'll hand over to you.
Right, basically, what I thought would be quite good for future podcasts or future episodes is if, regularly there's always at least 1 or 2 different rules pops up each week to add on to shenanigans, YSTF rulings and head judges and whatever. So basically, I'd like to talk about the same thing like the effect Vader versus Undyne and Doom Calibur.
Yeah, because that's a bitch of a rule.
Stated where Gen X Undyne activates, it will still send the cards to the graveyard, but it won't get the effect to add. I think that this is a load of jelly.
I think it's a load of bullshit. And don't worry, you can swear on this podcast.
No, children, calm your language.
You can swear on this podcast, I don't care.
I could say something else, which was very funny, but I'm not going to.
Oh, go on.
Yes.
No!
Basically, it's one of those things where you just kind of think to yourself, this shouldn't work because Doom Calibur officially states negate the divisional activation of the effect. So therefore there is nothing to dump at all.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Konami do the whole release products, release broken ruling. For example, when Tour Guide came out, they said, yes, you can detach Sangan and get the effect. So everyone's going, oh, Tour Guide's amazing. Or like when Insectus came out. And I can't remember the hopper on the first turn, which to me makes sense. But there you go, I'm a bit of a retard. And it's the whole thing, and this Skype chat's really putting me off. But
Sorry.
It's okay, we know Richie likes creamy balls sitting on his chin. Anyway, try and get back on topic.
I get salty. No,
like a bag of chips.
It's Another advanced ruling everyone should know is that Abyss Megalo, a lot of people know this already, but basically Abyss Megalo reveals like a wind-up shark.
Does that mean
So
I
basically
can
what
chain Max C to it? They go reveal Megalo,
You
chain
can
Max
chain
C.
Max C, you can mind crush it, but the downfall of this is
They still
if you
get to
still
discard.
mind crush it, the effects of the discard effects will still go off.
Which is dumb.
Which shouldn't do, but apparently it does.
Again, this is what we were talking about, Konami releasing product broken ruling. Why?
Well, it's not Konami, it's just one particular person in Konami, but I'm not going to say anything in case I get banned for mentioning his name. That's
Yes,
the point.
he is someone I would quite like to punch in the face. But yeah, now I know this was sort of a weird thing that got released today but was confirmed as fake. Now I'd like to talk about this. This is the Cosmo Blazer Fake Special Edition that contained Blade Armor Ninja and Wind-Up Shark, supposedly. It's been ruled as fake, but if it wasn't, what would we buy that?
No.
No.
No. I've got my playset of Blade Armors.
The shark and that have already been re-released, so I don't understand why everybody jumped and said, "Oh, this is the real deal."
Well, it's probably
I
because...
said to Josh this morning that the fact being that the supers anyway, so there's kind of redundant making them supers again.
Yeah, it'd be nice making them commons, like the entire wind-up deck should be. Or, even better, just, taking a match and just burning the whole wind-up deck, or banning Shockmaster. Whichever one.
That
Yes.
was really wind-up players.
Oh,
Sorry.
Carry on, Richie.
Blade Armor Ninja would have been nice, because how much is Blade Armor Ninja currently going for?
About 6-8, mate.
Let me check on the old eBays, because this will be funny.
Oh yes, because eBay is such a reliable source for car pricing these days.
Apparently it's sitting around £9, or if you're really, really, really into cranial drill intrusion, you can pay about 15 for one.
So I was going to say, I haven't seen Blade Armor Ninja in a lot of trade folders.
It's because people are hoarding it because they want to play Heroes.
Yeah.
Thing is though, right, I like how apparently eBay dictates the price of the stock market. It's like when the Wind-Ups won the Nationals, like, oh, Wind-Up Rabbit Secret is now $50. It is now $50. No, it's not. It's a tin super in about a month.
Yeah, that wound me up. Oh god, I've just fallen into the pun.
Oh shit. Oh dear. This is doing my head in now.
What, is it
No,
winding you up?
I think, actually, this is something we haven't mentioned, actually, is the Prophecy Destroyer tin.
Yes, the Prophecy Destroyer tin. That's going to be interesting, at least.
What is the fact being that we get
Infinity's bruv! Yes.
Like, Infinity Barrier, Photon Strike Bowser, Stillstorm Roach, Endless Decay.
I
Oh,
like that Bowser and Roach are in it. I don't care much for Endless Decay. Bit annoyed about a barrier, but then again, that's just because I hate infirmities.
yeah. Did I mention I'm spamming those tins because I had the whole Infernity deck?
The joy.
Well, pretty much. I'm happy about Bowser, but then again, Bowser wasn't the most high end of cards.
It was still a pain in the arse to get, though, because people go, oh, I've pulled a Bowser, yeah, I'm going to either overvalue this like sin or just never trade it because it's such a good card.
Personally, a lot of people are hyping up Card D, but I honestly think Card D is going to be even in the next wave of tins or in a future battle pack. I'm saying that now.
I think it's going to be in the special edition, personally.
It would be nice if it is. It would be really, really
that was great. But then again, would it be too soon? And would that make a special event
then again, there's that whole theory about when Drill Warrior came out like 6 months after it won a YCS.
Yeah.
It was only out for like 2 months.
Yeah, but I can understand that because Drill Warriors were going for like 40, 50 quid at the time. So you pull a Drill Warrior, you get mobbed for trades.
Well, personally, if anything should hurry up and get a reprint in whatever, it should be Elemental Hero Escorido.
Oh,
I'm saying that's just because I like heroes.
yeah, I think that should get a reprint, to be fair. But at the same time, that means Super Poly just gets busted. Is that your grapher? No, it's not. Super Poly.
Well, I just wanted to reprint the Fusion for Roids.
Oh, what?
Vocaloid.
Super Vicroid Stealth Union.
Machine thing. Yeah,
Oh, what?
that thing.
Barbaroid the Ultimate Battle Machine or Super Vicroid Stealth Union?
No, not Stealth Union, the other one.
Oh, Barbaroid, the 5K one. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Now, talking about Enlisted K, you guys were saying that you don't care for it much. However, it's kind of dumb because apparently it's been ruled that its attack points don't halve, don't go down if you take damage, basically.
Alright.
Yeah, apparently that's how it's been ruled. Also, it is pretty dumb card if you think about it. Oh, I'll just bring out a 4K after you kill my Pyramid Turtle. Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah. Personally, if that comes out, I want the viruses to be banned. Because if I'm correct, you can deck Devi it.
I guess you can.
Yeah. So, one thing I've been personally thinking about a lot over the current time in Yugioh is really how the meta has evolved. Because if you look at the start of the meta, heroes were the shit. You couldn't go to locals, especially my locals, without seeing someone go summon Stratos, get the effect, or get an alias. All common miracle fusions are like 10 quid each. They were at one point. There was one kid who said, "I'll give you a tenner each for common miracle fusions."
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, it was annoying because I
It
didn't.
was a common £10.
Yeah, this was the whole thing where I was like, I wish I had my commons on me. But yeah, there have been some weird things happen, and people have also been saying, and like then it was sort of heroes and samurais at the beginning of the format. And now Cosmo Blazers come out, and then you've got stuff like, oh, well, we can't play Heroes and Sams, but now we're going to play Mermails and Stupid. It's gone from more control-based to where the fact that control-based decks like Heroes and Samurai are finding it very hard to be played.
Well, the thing is I'm finding about the YCS right now, well, the YCS that have been and gone, is that it's been a different deck every single time winning it. So it just goes to show that this format is too diverse to say this what stands out now. There's more regionals that recognise decks more than the YCS is in tops and actually first place positions.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting about that because if everybody remembers Kayla Shade, who was the previous host of the KCP, he was noted at a regional for his unusual Karibo deck.
Oh god, his Harry Balls deck.
Oh, yeah,
I hate that deck. That deck was awesome.
An awesome story.
I mean,
Yeah.
I went to a region. The only regions I've been to, I got renowned by the entire hall because I got a Bubble Man effect off. I'm thinking, well, it's not hard, Giddy. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else wishes to talk about anything else in podcasters discussion.
All I can say though is when a bit of advice to anyone who's starting out going to their tournaments first time regionals. When you go to regionals, always take pen and paper. Judges will slay you if you use calculators or phones because it can't be justified or readjusted if anything between the players.
Yeah, that is a point.
I've actually heard about that kind of ruling, and it's like it's understandable, I suppose.
Yeah.
And put it like this: if you're going to use cards like Snipe Hunter, please bring a dice.
Yes. Or if you're playing cards
because I had to let a player borrow my dice when he said, "Oh, I'm using Snipe Hunter, but I have no dice." My response to him was this.
I was supposed to be facepalm.
I remember at the only regional I've been to, we had someone say, "Oh, I'm using Fabled Raven, but I haven't got any counters to put on him to remind me of how many levels he has."
Oh dear.
My response was to completely headbutt the wall about 3 times. Or actually, round 1, I played a player. Sorry, Darkness. Carry on.
I was going to say, remember, kids, don't do drugs and don't rule shark.
Unless you're rule sharking against a certain someone who's quite large and smells.
Maybe that's something. Yeah. Maybe that's something we could discuss in a podcast discussion at another time. Is rule sharking or
I think that would be a good idea.
Or Yugioh etiquette, as I like to call it.
In other words, woman be mad.
What?
You know I'm joking.
I know.
Anyway, I don't know about the rest of the podcasters, but I think that is enough for the first episode of the Stonking Great Yugioh podcast. I'm sorry for how long it is, as we're going nearly into 1 hour 25 minutes. If you've sat through all of this, I'm incredibly glad. So from myself, Scapegoat User, and the podcasters,
Yeah, got yourself.
Emma Blore
Emma Blue Eyes.
and Dark Magician,
84.
we shall see you later on the next episode of the Stonking Great Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. See you later.
Bye.
See you later, alligator. Wah!
I'm putting the kettle on.